Now next I said that we are going to find it out the unit of rate constant, the value of rate constant by some different method. Different method means, suppose if the reactant is gaseous, just now I explained you one thing, when the pressure is given, but now suppose your pressure is not given, the volume is given. Listen carefully, we are going to find the value of rate constant for the first order reaction when the, pressure is not given, because for the pressure we have already discussed. When the volume is given, alright, first order reaction. Now first order reaction, you know the formula, what is that? K is equal to 2.303 by T log concentration of A0 by A, where A0 is the initial concentration, A is the remaining concentration, we have already discussed. Now see, one by one I am saying you. Number one, K is equal to 2.303 by T. You will be using this formula log V0 by Vt. Listen carefully, V0 is the initial volume and Vt is the final volume when the time is T. When the time is T, what is the final volume? When the time is T, what is the final volume? Means, let us say we have started 0, then what is that? That is V0. When the time is 0, then the volume is, what is that? That is V0. We can say some value is there. When the time is 5 seconds, then what is the volume? We can say that. When the time is 10 seconds, then what is the volume? So these are all Vt. These are all Vt. When the time is 5 seconds, 10 seconds in this way. When the time is 15 seconds, what is that? So in this way. These are all Vt, we can say. Clear? Understood? When the time is 0, then it's the volume is 0. V0. Initial. Then when the time is 5, then what is that? When the time is 10, what is that? When the time is 15, what is that? What is that? There is Vt. In this way. Accordingly, you will put the time, whatever is given in the question. Just I have given an example to you. Whatever is given in the question, you will put it and you will find it out. Fine. This is one case. This can be one, particular case when initial volume and volume at a particular time t is given to you. Fine. Now suppose the second one can be 2.303 by t, that is V infinity minus V0 by V infinity minus Vt. Alright, let me put a bigger one. V infinity minus V0 by V infinity minus Vt. Now, what I said you, I have started with here, that is nothing but time and volume. I have started, isn't it? Time and volume. When the time is 0, 5, 10, then 15, then dot dot dot, it goes up to infinity. So the volume correspondingly is V0, then let us say the volume is here Vt, Vt, got it? And this will be what? V infinity. When the time is infinite, volume is infinity, V infinity. So there will be some value, you put it here. Vt for, let us say, when the time is 5, it is asked. When the time is 5 seconds, let us say. So in place of time, you put it 5. In place of, this V0, you put this value. V0, you put this value. In place of infinity, when the volume is infinite, you put this value here. Alright, when the time is 10 seconds, let us say this is in seconds, time is in seconds. When the time is 10 seconds, we will put it here 10. V infinity remains same, V0 remains same, only the Vt is different. Vt will differ. Alright, don't think this is the same Vt. No, it is going to differ. Let me write it T1, T2, T3. Otherwise, you might be thinking as same. How will be same? It will be different. Alright, so this is another formula. It depends upon what the question is given. If infinity is given, then you will be using this formula. If only this infinity is not given, this is not given. In the previous formula, I said this was not there. So V0 by Vt, I will be using it. Got it now? Fine. Now, next. After that, angle of rotation is given. Now, this formula where you are going to use it. Angle of rotation. Now, you have read it in, in alkyl halides and aryl halides you have studied. That there is optical isomerism you studied. Alright, optical isomerism you studied. In optical isomerism, what you studied is that you studied about the degree of specific rotation. Alright, degree of specific rotation you have studied. Let me make it much more clear to you. You have studied in optical isomerism that when you are passing the plane of polarized light, that is, if it is an optically active compound, the plane of polarized light rotates towards the right, then it is dextro, and if plane of polarized light rotates towards left, it is levo compound. We have studied all these things? Clear? Fine. Now, when it rotates towards right or left, this is a plane of polarized light. When it rotates towards right, let us say right, it makes an angle with it. This is known as what? Angle of specific rotation alpha. There is some value or not? There is some value? Alright. So, here also same thing. In different times, the value is going to change. When the time is going to change, the value is also going to change. Same thing. So instead of V here, I will be taking here rate. Alright, and here it is time. So when the time is 0, 10, 15 in this way, so it will be what? Same thing, let us say it is, let me rub it this one, you have understood. So it is infinite. So here R, it will be R0, this is let us say RT1, this is RT2, RT2, so it will be what? R infinity. Alright, rate understood, rate. Rate means what? That is when we are passing the plane of polarized light, it is rotating at a certain angle. So hence it gives you the rate of the reaction from there. Rate means your what? Rate of the reaction. Because it's a reaction. You are passing a plane of polarized light to an optically active compound, and hence the compound either rotates towards right or left. That is either dextro or levo. And hence a reaction is being taking place now. So that is the rate of reaction we need to find. So that is the rate of reaction. This is a rate, we can say that. Clear? But here, remember it, the rate is measured in case of, what you can say is that, in case of nothing but a reading in degrees, the rate is measured. Because what I said you, alpha you are calculating it. Here the rate is nothing but alpha. Alpha is equal to, if you remember it, the formula, alpha is equal to theta by C into L. Where theta is the angle of specific rotation, C is the concentration, and length, L is the length of the polarimeter tube. Alright? Clear? This theta is the nothing but the angle, which you saw the angle. And alpha is the degree of specific rotation, which I am going to put it here. This value, this, it is known as, which actually gives here the rate of the substance. Try to understand. I am talking about optical isomerism. In optical isomerism, this gives you the rate of the reaction. This particular value, which will be written here in terms of degrees, it will be given. It will be given in terms of degrees, it will be given. So that value I am going to put it. So let me tell you then what is the value of K. K is equal to 2.303 by T log R0 minus R infinity by RT minus R infinity. R0 minus R infinity by RT minus R infinity, we can say that. Alright? Because when the value, when the time will be infinite, this becomes negative. This particular one, it becomes, the value becomes negative. Because at infinite time, this angle of specific rotation is less than 0. Angle of specific rotation is less than 0. Angle of specific rotation. So if you have forgotten that, you go through that particular, what you can say, the degree of specific rotation, what is optical isomerism, you go through it a little bit. For that reason I said that. And again I repeat, you take an optically active compound, you pass the plane of polarized light, it is either going to rotate towards right or towards the left. It will make an angle, that is theta. You will take the solution, then only the light can pass through it. Light cannot pass through the solid state. So that is the concentration of the solution is C. Length, L is the length of the polarimeter tube. It will be a polarimeter tube is there, that's the length is there, certain length, basically it is 1 decimeter, the length is, you will be getting the value of theta. Alright, the value of, alpha you will be getting it. Clear? And this value of alpha, as the time increases, the value of alpha, what you find is that it goes on decreasing. Definitely, then only when the time is infinite, the value becomes negative. It goes on decreasing, the rate goes on decreasing in this way. Definitely. When we are calculating for the concentration, so rate goes on decreasing. So what I am saying, it goes on decreasing, and hence ultimately it becomes negative when the value is infinite. Now I think it's clear to you. Okay, so this is the formula, you got it. Fine. So there can be different types of rate. Okay, it can be asked to you. Now next we are coming to the molecularity of a reaction. You have all now you are studying about the rate of the reaction. Till now, order of the reaction you are studying. So there is also another term which is called as the molecularity of the reaction, which is said to say molecularity of a reaction. Very simple it is. Now molecularity of a reaction means what? Number of molecules, atoms or ions participating in a given reaction, in a single step reaction. Given reaction means single step reaction is known as the molecularity of a reaction. Number of atoms, molecules or ions participating in a single step reaction is known as the molecularity of a reaction. That is called as single step, mind it. And I told you earlier also in previous classes I have said you that if a reaction is taking place in a single step, it is known as an elementary reaction. But suppose if a reaction is taking place in a multiple step, it is known as a complex reaction. Alright, it is known as a complex reaction, mind it. So what I said you, number of atoms, molecules or ions participating in a single step reaction is called as the molecularity of the reaction. That is said to be S. Alright, now from this you come to know that molecularity is determined theoretically. It is not determined experimentally. Point number 1, note it. Difference from order of the reaction. Order is determined practically, experimentally. It's not determined theoretically. Alright, but molecularity is determined theoretically. Theoretically means what? Suppose for example, H2 gas plus I2 gas gives 2HI gas. So what is the molecularity? Molecularity is 2 here. It is 2. Molecularity is 2. Molecularity is 2. Very clearly you can see it here. It is 2 molecularity. Alright. Like 2NO plus O2 gives 2NO2. You see it is balanced or not, the reaction? 2NO plus O2. 2NO, yeah, nitrogen 2, oxygen 2 plus 2, 4. Here also same thing. It is balanced. So here what is the molecularity? Can you tell me? Just you add it up. Just you add it up. Molecularity is what? 3. So it is termolecular. This one is bimolecular. If molecularity is 1, that is called unimolecular. Unimolecular if it is 1. If molecularity is 2, it is known as bimolecular. Listen the term carefully. If molecularity is 3, it is known as termolecular. Termolecular. Got it? Tertiary. You have read it in this way. When one carbon atom is attached to 3 other carbon atoms. Same thing. Here also same thing. That is molecularity when 3 molecules participates. Now, in this way, it is determined theoretically, molecularity of the reaction. And moreover, one more thing, listen to it. The difference between order and molecularity is that order can be 0, but molecularity cannot be 0. Apply the common sense. 0 molecules participating and giving a product. Is it possible? Means on the reactant side, 0 molecule means nothing is there. And giving a product. Is it possible? On the reactant, nothing and product is something. How it is possible? So, molecularity cannot be 0. Alright, molecularity cannot be 0. Molecularity is always a whole number. It's not possible that the molecularity will be 0. That's the difference, another difference between order and molecularity of a reaction. Okay. So, now next is, what I said you, for a single step reaction, all these are single step reaction. Now suppose if a reaction is of complex step, it is of, what you can say, nothing but several steps are there. It is not a single step reaction. There is several steps are there in a particular reaction. In that case, how to find the molecularity of reaction? What I said you, if number of steps are there, it is known as a complex reaction. That particular reaction is called as a complex reaction. That is known as. Alright, now, how do we know that? In that case, how do we calculate? Remember it. In a complex reaction, listen carefully. One of the steps will be the slow step. And the remaining steps will be the fast step. Because it will be taking place a number of steps now. So one of the step will be the slow step, and in that case, we determine the molecularity of each step. Alright, we determine the molecularity of each step because number of steps will be given, and we determine the molecularity of each step. We find it out. Alright, remember it? Clear? Because I said it is determined theoretically. In this way, determine the molecularity of each step if the reaction is completed in multiple steps, in a number of steps. If the reaction is being completed in multiple steps. Now, let me give you an example. Then you will be following it. Suppose a reaction is there. 2N2O5 gives 4NO2 plus O2. It is given in one step, but it's not complete in one step. It's complete in multiple steps. Alright, it's not a elementary reaction. This one is. It is completed in multiple steps. How do we know that? It will be given to you, don't worry. It will be given N2O5 in the slow step. One molecule first will decompose to give you NO2 plus NO3. Add it up. N2, see 2N, 5 oxygen, 5 oxygen. Done. Now, in the next step what will happen? N2O5, another N2O5, now 2 molecules are taken. N2O5 will react with NO3 because you know NO3 is unstable, NO2 is stable. NO3 is unstable. NO3 if it has to be a radical minus, but it is not stable. Alright, so hence definitely this will react with this. Apply the common sense and understand it. Very simple it is. NO2, NO3, it is not stable. So this will combine with another N2O5 to give you what? It will give you nothing but what you will be getting it? NO2. Got it? Clear? NO2 plus O2. So how many NO2? Very simple. How many NO2 is there? 3. 3 nitrogen. So 3 NO2 plus O2. Finished. So this is a fast step. See, in this way. So this is a complex reaction. This particular reaction is a complex reaction. It's not an elementary reaction. It's not complete in one step. So here, how do we determine the molecularity? In this step, the molecularity is 1. In this step, the molecularity is 2. But actually speaking, if you want to calculate the rate of the reaction, we should take this particular reaction. We should take always this particular reaction because slow step determines the rate of the reaction. Because as I told you earlier, slow step is the rate determining step. Now you might be thinking that, sir, why he is concerned with the slow step? Now let me give an example to you, a very interesting example. Let me give it to you. Suppose a cycle factory is there. In cycle factory, cycle factory is there. We are producing different things. We are producing the rim of the cycle. We are producing the handle of the cycle. We are producing the paddle of the cycle. We are producing the spoke of the cycle. So different, in different units, in different places, different substances are produced. In some place, spoke is produced, paddle is produced, rim is produced, this handle is produced. Different, in different places, you know that different things are being produced. Okay. Now, how many cycles is produced per day depends upon the slowest step of the factory. That which step is the slowest? Definitely. Suppose if handle are produced faster, can you prepare a cycle? It depends upon the slowest step. Suppose the slowest step is the spoke which is being produced. So if the spoke is produced 50 per day, so how many cycles will produce per day? 50 only. Even if handles are produced 100, even if the the rim is produced 150, so what? With the rim, can you make a cycle? Can you get a whole cycle, a complete cycle? No, complete cycle will be there when all the parts will be present in a particular cycle. So the slow step means which is being produced least in a factory in a particular day, that determines the number of cycles produced per day in that particular factory. So here what I said, the one which is produced least, that means I am considering the slowest step. Now got it? Hence for that particular reason, slow step is the rate determining step always. I think you got it, the idea that why we are considering the slow step is the rate determining step, because that determines the number of cycles produced in one day. Alright, even if the others are produced more, so what? You will get a complete cycle. You want a complete cycle, isn't it? So that will determine. So hence always the slow step is the rate determining step. Alright, clear? So in this way we determine the molecularity of the reaction. Okay. Next we will see it more. Thank you.